Hello and welcome to the live build-up here at Easter Road. Just 2 games left until the split and a mouth-watering cup semi-final derby just around the corner. It's a huge 2 weeks for Hibernian FC and that starts today against Dundee United.
Into the centre, that's good from right, and now a chance for Chris Catton. Unlucky, Coyle! And Nisbet has knocked that one in.
Listen, Hibs totally deserve it. You know, it's been dominant. 38 minutes into the game, Hibs get what they deserve.
Now Chris Catton. Mark Boyle. Looked inside, that's a wonderful ball to Boyle. Chris Catton, that's
Yes!
minutes. I think that could put the game to bed. It's Dundee United 0, Hibs 2.
Yeah, great goal. Listen, it's nothing more than Hibs deserve. It's been complete domination from start to finish.
Murphy. Chance. That's a wonderful finish from Jamie Murphy, and that ends all hope of United coming back into this game. It's a wonderful finish from Murphy.
Yes, Dundee United, the visitors to Easter Road this afternoon, and you only need to look at that league table just to see how big of a game this is. 4th play 5th, just 4 points separating 7 sides and only 2 games to go until the split. Well, I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Ryan Porteous and Alexa Coyle ahead of this afternoon's game. Thank you guys for joining us. Porter, I'll start with you. Obviously, you'd much prefer to be out there this afternoon than doing this with us.
Yeah, it's probably harder watching it than it is probably playing in it, but as you say, there's a big month ahead, a lot of important games, and although we've not been in the best league form or had the best season, it's still all to play for. 4th place is something that we wanted to set out to achieve. Unfortunately, it looks like we've missed out on 3rd, but it's still all to play for, and if we could secure 4th place, and today's a massive step in doing that if we could get 3 points.
Yeah, it's a massive few weeks coming up. What's the mood been like in the camp over the international break ahead of this run of fixtures?
It's hard to say it's been brilliant, obviously, because you want to win games, and if you win games it's a lot easier to come in and do your work, but it's probably been a bit frustrating because we want the next game to come. Aberdeen was a big disappointment because we felt like we didn't play well. There was obviously decisions in the game that didn't help us, but for where we want to go, we need to play a lot better than that. So we wanted the next game to come, fast. And obviously with the boys being away, we worked hard, but now they're back, and as I said, it's a big game. So we've got a few players coming back. Paul Hanlon, Harry Clark, big players for us. So hopefully they can make the difference today. And as I said, it's a massive game, and we want to get 4th place. We need to get top 6. So these are the games that we need to step up and be counted.
Yeah, Alexa, how big are these next 3 games in terms of defining our season?
Yeah, I mean, as he mentioned, they're really important games, and with the league table being so close in points, I think every game matters, but I think it's really important in football to take each game at a time and focus on that game and getting the needed points.
How easy is that? Obviously 2 massive Edinburgh derbies coming up after today's game, but today's game does carry so much weight, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and it can be difficult to stay focused in the moment when there's big games ahead, but I think that's essential as a football player to stay focused 1 game at a time, and today's obviously a massive game, like you said, being 4th and 5th, playing for very important points. So,
yeah. Is that been a message around the training the training centre, Porto, to tell people that this is a massive game, not to get distracted by the 2 that are ahead, or is that something that just happens naturally?
It's probably something that just happens naturally. A lot of people, taking 1 game at a time does help, but I think it's natural as a football player to look at the league table, look at the games coming up, and and to be fair, we've been saying it for a few weeks that a couple wins, 1 big win, it does secure top 6, and it can not kickstart a season, because I think we've done well in some games, but maybe not got that goal. That big win that is potentially, as I said, kick-started it. But this is the games that you look forward to it. It's a great day. The pitch is looking great. Hopefully we get a decent number of fans in, and as I said, we've got some decent players coming back as well. So hopefully we can get the job done today and take a little bit of pressure off me when I come back.
Absolutely. You mentioned the Aberdeen game as well. There were elements of the performance that were good, elements that were disappointing. Do you feel now that, or we're coming to the point where we're going to put a complete performance in over 90 minutes?
I think what we were most disappointed with Aberdeen was that we didn't play. Obviously Aberdeen and Jim Goodwin's team always set out a high press, and having what felt like it in the game, at times, I think we went long too much, rather than just defenders putting your foot on the ball and maybe taking a bit of pressure off your midfielders and giving them a bit of respite as well. So having watched it back, I think me, Rocky, Big Kev, we're disappointed that we maybe chose the long ball option more times than not. But listen, that's football, and as I said, it was disappointing performance and disappointing result, but we're still all to play for. We're still in a good position, and having playing 4th place now, with the league table being so close, it's probably a good thing. So listen, the games are coming up, they're big, but that's why you play football, and we need to start picking up points and getting good results.
Yeah, Alexa, the league table, like we said, is so tight. This is obviously your kind of first year around Scottish football. What's been your take on it so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really exciting to watch, and yeah, like you mentioned, being new to Scottish football, I think just the environment and the passion around the football here, it's definitely different from America. So I've really enjoyed being a part of it and kind of witnessing it, and I'm excited for the game today. And I think it's exciting when, the league table like this is this close, and it makes every match really exciting and just always great to watch. So.
Yeah, there's teams with all sorts of styles, like you just said, Ryan. What do you expect from Dundee United? Obviously, we played them quite a bit this year.
Listen, they've got some really good technical players. I think if we can get off to a fast start like we did, in the last, we played them away at Tannadice twice. In the Scottish Cup, we had the game won at half time, and in the second match, although they had a good few players missing, they had a lot of young boys. We came in at half time with about 75% possession, and I think that really kicked us on. We're 1-0 up, and then the second half they tried to come out and we just picked them off. So having played them at home, obviously it was a disappointing result, but listen, they've got good players. Sparky McNulty, Mulgrew, Tony Watt. They're players that can win a game, but we've got match winners all over the park as well, and a lot of young, fit, energetic players as well. So it'll be a good game, but it's a game that I've enjoyed in playing this season. We've had a good bit of joy, so that'll be a good game, hopefully.
Yeah, and the crowd could play a massive part, couldn't they? I mean, we've seen how you guys out on the pitch have kind of bounced off them, but also at Motherwell, how they really set the standard, Motherwell away, for you guys to go out and perform.
I think as a fan it's probably frustrating when we've not done so well this. Well, I say as well as we did last season. It's probably a typical Hibs thing to do, that when the fans aren't in, we finished third and we're getting record away wins. It would have been a great season for them, and then when they come back, it's a bit more disappointing. But as you said, the impact that they had Motherwell away, it pushed us right on to the very end. Even St Johnstone at home, although we didn't get that goal, I thought the performance was good, and it was brilliant to play in a full house. Celtic at home, so they can play a massive part. Although they'll be frustrated with potential league position and some performance, that they have been great this season, and I think you've probably got to give them a bit of respect for it not being so great to watch at times and the results not going their way. But they've always backed us in our numbers, and expect them to do the same today.
Yeah, what's it been like for you, Alexa, being part of the crowd?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I mean, as I touched on before, the culture around football here is much more enhanced than in the US, and just the passion behind the game from the fan base is really noticeable. So I've really enjoyed it as a spectator, and to be a part of that has been really enjoyable.
Yeah, before we touch upon today's game, we have to mention the World Cup draw yesterday, one that all three of us could potentially be interested in. England, Scotland and USA, potentially Scotland obviously, being drawn in the same group. Alexa, what was your take on that?
Yeah, I thought it was a great group draw. I think it'll be really interesting, and a group that could bring a lot of excitement and I think unexpected potential results. I think obviously England and Scotland have exciting history, and US not qualifying for the last World Cup are going to come in wanting kind of revenge and being the underdog. So I think it could be a really interesting group.
Yeah, and a real ambition for you as well, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. We've got this full season, the start of next season, to try and kickstart my international kind of campaign, maybe hopefully make my debut and get called up again. But it's obviously something that I aspire to be, an international football player, and you see how good the national team has become in the last year and a half under Steve Clarke, and it's something I want to be involved in. But it's an exciting group. But as I said, 2 really hard games if we get through them. First and foremost, Ukraine and Wales. So that's obviously not a given, but it's definitely dangling a carrot for Scotland. It is a group, and it's a group that you could qualify given recent results and recent performances.
Absolutely, and one thing that was a real positive this week was Joe Newell signing his contract extension that will mean he stays here at Easter Road until the summer of 2025. Well, he caught up with Gavin Rittu ahead of this one. Joe, you've put pen to paper on a contract extension here with us at Hibs. How happy are you to get that done?
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Really excited by it. The gaffer pulled me in a few weeks ago now and said how he wanted to extend my stay here, and I've loved it since I've been here. That's why I signed a new contract last season, and to get that call for him to want me to extend it even further was really nice.
Yeah, there's obviously been a lot of change at the club over the last season. Obviously, Sean Maloney coming in and having that conversation with you. How much of a factor was the direction that the club is going in now and the aims that the club has got?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, I like I say, first and foremost, life's the most important thing, and how happy you are. Obviously, football's a big part of it, but to enjoy your life and the whole, that's the main thing. So my feeling was I need to make sure it's right for me and my partner and stuff, and as soon as we kind of knew that we were happy to stay here for a bit longer, the next thing was for me was where I see the club going, and like you say, the club's going in a direction that I want to be involved in. Since I've first come through the door, I think it's come on leaps and bounds really in terms of everything. You look at the success we've had on the pitch, the way the club's moved forwards, new ownership, new management, different style, everything, new players coming in, the academy, the way that's moving forward and doing really well. So the whole feeling around the club was, of course, a massive reason to why I wanted to stay.
Porter, really great news there that Joe's signed a contract extension. Just talk us through what he offers to this Hibs team.
It's brilliant. Joe's been a massive part of what we've kind of built over the last couple of years. When he first came in, he was kind of playing on the wing, and then the old gaffer kind of brought him into the midfield, and he's became a real leader for us. On and off the park, he's a great lad, and he can, when he has a good game, more often than not we win. Just through how good he is on the ball, his leadership qualities, his organisation skills, and he is a great player, and it's brilliant news that we've got players like that coming to the future at the club.
Yeah, he can do a bit of everything, can't he, in the middle of midfield, but off the pitch, like you say, he's a great lad. He's a bubbly character. He's always laughing and joking. You need a player like that, don't you, in good times, but also in the bad ones. Yeah,
to be fair, I watched his interview the other day, and I didn't see him admitting that he's probably signed a contract just for the golf. He's playing golf. He loves Scottish golf, so listen, he's a good character around the place. He's he gets around everybody and makes sure that they're involved in any conversation, the new lads, and he's a brilliant player, and a great guy off the park to have as well.
Is he someone, Alexa, that you noticed straight away that he's a vital part of this Hibernian side? Yeah, absolutely. He stood out from the games I've watched as an integral part of the team, and clearly from what I've seen, he's a leader, and I think that's obviously essential to any team, so it seems like a really exciting extension, and that he'll be here for longer. Yeah, absolutely is. We're going to take a quick break now, but stay with us because we'll be hearing from our manager, Sean Maloney, very shortly.
Terry Healy Heating is Scotland's premier new boiler and central heating company. Your first call for new gas boiler installations, central heating repair and maintenance services. Interest-free credit available and low monthly payment plans. Get it right first time, every time, with Scotland's premier new boiler and central heating company. See terryhealyheating.com, an Edinburgh trusted trader and gas safe registered.
Terry Healy Group.
Get your hands on this limited time offer with Carabao, the great tasting low-calorie energy drink.
Millions use NordVPN to help protect themselves from cybercrime. People working from any place with internet access. Heroes on a mission. Travelers using unsecured public Wi-Fi. The ones who have an app for everything. Get exclusive discount with a code. NordVPN, proud sponsor of Hibernian FC.
Got to get any sort of contact on that. He just has to side foot it, it's a goal. But I think that's a warning for Hibs. You know, as we said, Motherwell's still going to keep playing attacking. They're not going to sit back and go away. Hibs have got to keep playing their football and get forward.
Jasper for Hibs does well. Edge of the area, cuts the ball over. It's in the net. Hibs have scored. Just about quarter of an hour on the clock. It's Elias Melkerson. The ball played over by Sylvester Jasper. Melkerson reacts quickly, knocks it beyond Kelly in the Motherwell goal. And from Hibs almost going a goal behind.
Jasper gets a little break of the ball here.
He does.
But you see Melkerson's movement here. He gets across the defender. Bang. We've been crying out for that all season. That kind of movement. And it's a wonderful header from young Melkerson there.
Yeah, superb.
Terrific striker's goal.
Gets right in front of the defender. Reads exactly what Sylvester Jasper is going to do. Bullets the header beyond Liam Kelly. And after a quarter of an hour, it's Motherwell 0. Hibs 1. Well, Sean Maloney has been patient with Elias Melkerson, and the young Norwegian rewards his manager there.
Certainly a few Hibs players round about it, we're claiming for it.
Jasper, lovely ball. Melkerson stayed on side. Chance here. Melkerson, he's got a second. What a cracking finish from the young Norwegian. 2 attempts at goal, 2 goals. What a lovely ball that was through from Sylvester Jasper. Melkerson held the line absolutely beautifully. 1-on-1 with Liam Kelly. Slots the ball beyond the Motherwell keeper. And the Hibs have a new superstar.
A new hero in town. What a finish that is. It's a brilliant ball again from Jasper. Peels off a defender. What a finish with his left foot there. Ruthless.
Tam, it's actually, the goals today are bearing out what we saw in the sort of video clips of Elias Melkersen playing in Norway last season down in their sort of first division.
Hello and welcome back to Hibs TV as we build up to the 3 o'clock kickoff as we take on Dundee United. Alexa, we were just watching the Motherwell highlights and you were really impressed, weren't you, by Elias Melkersen? Just talk us through why you were so impressed by his goals.
Yeah, like you said, I was really impressed with both his goals. I think that first one, the ability to create space for himself in that near post and then put that cross away was brilliant and really everything you want as a striker. And then that second goal, I think his ability to have composure in front of the goal with the ball that wasn't perfectly on the floor and to put that away, really impressive. And I think also one thing that I've been impressed with when watching him is his ability to stretch back lines and look in behind. And I think that's a really essential quality to have as a forward and just a part of a team. So the striker arsenal, you have players that can hold it up like a Nisbet, where also players that can stretch in behind and really give back lines issues. So I think he's obviously in great form and will be an essential part of the squad going forward for these next few games.
Yeah, he came here, didn't he, with a lot of potential, a big goal-scoring background on his loan spells as well. He had to get used to the style of football in Scotland and to play on grass pitches, which to a lot of people probably seems quite astonishing, but obviously in Norway they just play on kind of 3G, 4G pitches. At just 19 to come in at Motherwell in a big game for the club to get us into the semi-finals. How impressed were you with his composure and his calmness, especially with that second finish? Because, like you say, the ball was bouncing. There's a lot of pressure on him to actually score that goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly impressive. I think one, being new to the squad, and then that being a very big occasion in the Scottish Cup, it's really impressive. And again, at a young age, to have that composure, I think that should give him so much confidence going forward for these next few games. And it should be exciting to keep seeing him hopefully score more goals.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and that's something that Sean Maloney will be hoping for too. I caught up with him ahead of this one and he gave his thoughts on the game. During that international break period, was there anything specific that you worked on? Was it a case of getting that kind of rest and recovery correct too?
A little bit of both. I think there's always things in how we're playing or the way that we want to play. We're always working on those things. I think we've focused a lot on the final third. I think that will continue right until the end of the season. I think in the summer we'll have different solutions in that area of the pitch, which will again hopefully make it a little, or I know it will make us a lot more creative in that area. But until then, we'll certainly work very hard in that area. And there's parts as well. I think against Aberdeen, I think there was a big part of that performance that probably the biggest disappointment was actually that first half, where when we went 1-0, the way that we actually created that own goal was we didn't really play like that again in that half. And it was a big game. I understand that the record at that stadium wasn't good for the club, but it's in these big moments I really want our players to show their personality to play under the biggest pressure.
Yeah, and a few of the lads obviously went away on international duty as well. Firstly, it's a really great experience for them, especially for Josh Campbell to get his first 2 caps. Yeah,
really pleased for Josh. I think the club's always quite proud to have international players. So we had Josh Campbell being and making his first appearances with Scotland 21s. He should be super proud. Josh Doig, he forgets only, or at such a young age, but has been an international for a while. And now Sylvester and obviously Elias. So yeah, really glad that they went there. Unfortunately, a couple of them picked up knocks, so we'll have to make that decision very late on. Particularly with Sylvester, Josh, we'll make a decision late on. But they came through training, so hopefully they'll be fine to start tomorrow.
Yeah, and one boost obviously is Paul Hanlon having a couple of weeks of training under his belt now.
Yeah, it was a big couple of weeks for him. He made an appearance against Aberdeen when we were down to 10 and it had just gone to 3-1, but it was really important to get him on the pitch to then get him ready for these games coming. So yeah, he did a lot of hard work. So really glad to have him back.
Yeah, good news there, Alexa. Sean Maloney saying that Paul Hanlon will definitely be back today, and Harry Clark could be involved too.
Yeah, I mean, that's really great news. Obviously, Paul Hanlon being captain of the squad, that's incredibly important with that leadership role, and obviously being, again, a massive game for them. And yeah, Harry Clark, an exciting addition back into the squad, and obviously coming from good form with his previous team, Ross County, I think it'll be exciting to see him out there today.
Yeah, certainly good to have some bodies back. Obviously, you were involved last night as well in the Scottish Cup against Partick Thistle. Obviously not the result that you wanted.
Yeah, unfortunately not the result we wanted. It definitely was a disappointing result for us, and one that is going to sting for a bit, I think, for our squad. But with every game, win or loss, there's always something to take from it and learn, and I think we're going to really use this next week with it being international break to really break down what went wrong and just move forward and learn from it.
Yeah, there's still lots to play for though for Hibs women this season, isn't there?
Yeah, every game is important, and we still have important league games left, and so our sights are going to be focused ahead on those and coming away with 3 points for each of them and finishing the season strong.
Yeah, and you've built up a great partnership up front with Ailey Adams, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been great. I've really enjoyed playing alongside her. I think we have similar strengths and also differences that really complement each other, and so we've been building a really great partnership, and that's been really enjoyable, and creating great opportunities and goals, so it's been awesome.
Yeah, and you really enjoyed kind of both games, didn't you, against Hearts?
Yes, all games against Hearts have been pretty exciting ones, and getting all 3 wins in Edinburgh Derby is pretty special, and they've been exciting ones for sure.
Yeah, and women's football is attracting a global audience now, isn't it? I think the El Clasico had around 90,000 fans there. How good is that for women's football, just to gain such a large audience and interest?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, and that was an absolutely massive moment for the women's game, and I think it shows there's an audience there. It's just a matter of attracting them and getting them to the games, and having also the stage in the stadium that can host the fans and the interest that is there. But yeah, I think a massive moment for the women's game that hopefully we'll just continue to build on.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to see it there, and it was great to see it here, obviously, earlier in the season as well, with the record-breaking crowd.
Absolutely. I mean, to be a part of that record-breaking night was incredible, and another huge moment in this country for the women's game. And you've seen multiple clubs followed our lead, with Hearts hosting us at Tynecastle, and then recently playing at Celtic Park. So it's exciting to see the men's sides opening up the stadiums for the women to play in and hosting these big events. So
yeah, what's it been like for you playing football over here in Scotland? How much have you enjoyed the challenge of it and the differences in culture?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I think I've touched on it earlier in the show, but just the passion around the game here is something really unique to America that I've really enjoyed. Also, the style of play is different, which I've really enjoyed. I'd say it's more technically and tactically focused game here, and I've really improved in those areas, which has been awesome. And yeah, it's just been an overall really great experience, and obviously just to be on a team with girls from a different culture, a different country, and kind of have that camaraderie and bond with them, and just get to experience it has been really great.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's just about it from us here, but make sure you join us later on for match coverage. You'll be joined by our commentary team of Cliff Pike and Kevin Harper. Thank you very much for watching, and Alexa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.